6, we're going to do angle addition postulate and angle bisector. So if D is the interior of A, B, C, then what that says is that if D, it's a point, okay, is in the interior of the angle ABC, then we know that this angle, angle A, B, D, remember that B is in the middle because it's the vertex, and then this separate angle, D, or angle DBC, okay, equals this whole angle, angle ABC. Okay, this is another part plus part equals whole. So part plus part equals the whole thing. Okay, so let's try this. A, if the measure of ABD is 48, so this angle is 48 degrees, and DBC, this angle, so you notice how I marked this angle with one hash mark, or angle mark, that's how we mark angles, and then this one is 2 to tell me that it's a different measurement, okay? So this is 78 degrees. Now, I want ABC. ABC is the whole thing, okay? So to get the whole thing, part plus part is going to equal my whole, okay? 48 plus 78 is 126 degrees. Okay? Alright. So, next one. If DBC is 74, so I'm going to redraw here. So, DBC is 74. And ABC is 119. Okay, ABC is the whole thing. Okay? So, I'm going to mark this as the whole thing. Do you see that? That's 119. I want to find ABD, which is this part. So to find that, I'm going to do 119 minus 74, and that's going to give me 45 degrees. So angle ABD equals 45 degrees. Okay? Alright, so the next one, if the measure of RQT is 155, so RQT, okay, is this whole thing. We know that whole thing is 155. So part plus part equals whole. So 4x minus 20 plus 3x plus 14 equals 155. Combine like terms, so these have x's, so 4x plus 3x is 7x. Negative 20 plus 14 is negative 6 equals 155. Add 6 to both sides, and I get 7x equals 171. Actually, it's 161, right? That's 161. And then I'm going to divide. So 161 divided by 7. I get x equals 23. Okay? Now that I have x, I don't need to stop there, okay? Because I want the measure of RQS and TQS. Okay? So to do that, I have to plug the 23 that I got in. So we're going to make a couple extra lines here. I want angle RQS. So to find RQS, I'm going to do 4 times my x minus 20. So 4 times 23 minus 20. So RQS is 72 degrees. Well, I know that this plus this angle plus this angle equals 155. So to find angle TQS, I can just do 155 minus 72. And that gives me 83 degrees. Okay, so those are my two answers. Alright. Okay. 3, I want you to try on your own, and then check the PDF for answers. Okay? So, we're going to talk about an angle bisector. Okay? So, an angle bisector is a ray that divides an angle into two congruent angles, okay? In the diagram to the right, okay, ray BD is going to be our angle bisector. Okay, angle bisectors are always in the middle. Okay, and therefore it creates two congruent angles, and they're marked here by these hash marks. So my congruent angles are angle ABD. And remember, we use this for congruent, a little tilde with the equal sign. It's congruent to angle DBC. Okay? Alright, so for numbers 1 through 5, EF, this, bisects our angle DEG. Okay? So, DEG equals 88 degrees. Okay? So, DEG, so the whole thing is 88 degrees. So, I want to find FEG. Well, if this is an angle bisector, it cuts it into two congruent angles. Okay? So, to find this, we know that this angle, let's call it X, angle DEF, and angle FEG, which we're also going to call X because they're congruent, has to equal 88, right? So X plus X equals 88, 2X equals 88, so X equals 44. Well, that's the same as just doing 88 divided by 2, right? Okay, so the whole thing, or each angle in FEG is 44. Okay? Awesome. So, now we're going to do, we know that the measure of FED is 27 degrees, okay? And we want to know GED, okay? So FED, I'll erase this so we can know what we're talking about. So we already did this problem. We're doing another one with different numbers, okay? So we know that FED is 27. And we want GED, the whole thing. Well, since we know that EF is an angle bisector, that means it cuts these angles into two congruent angles. So if this is 27, this is 27. So to get angle GED, we do 27 plus 27, which gives me 54 degrees. Okay? Alright. If DEF is 3x plus 1, so DEF is 3x plus 1, and DEG is 5x plus 19, okay, that's the whole thing, is 5x plus 19, find the value of x, okay? Well, we know that EF is an angle bisector, so we know that if DEF, this angle is 3x plus 1, that means FEG is also 3x plus 1. So remember, if it's an angle bisector, angle DEF plus angle FEG, those are the part and part angles, has to equal angle DEG. Well, let's plug in all those values. We know that DEF is 3x plus 1. FEG is also 3x plus 1. And they told us DEG is 5x plus 19. So now we're going to find x. So combine like terms. 6x plus 2 equals 5x plus 19. Subtract 5x. X plus 2 equals 19. X is going to equal 17. Okay? So I want you to try this next one, and then make sure you check your answer on Canvas with the PDF.